leading an entire turn, why that is valuable, forcefully or not, is the feeling of the dance. Some people like the feeling of the dance to be always connected, which allows you to change the connection at any moment. So if you imagine a classic style of lead is kind of to do an impulse lead where you start the movement and then you let it go on its own, and then if you want another one, you start it again, right? But the issue or the problem with that, the negative side of that, is that you have to create a connection again before you can lead the partner again, right? So if you wanted to lead the partner halfway through the turn, you'd have to again connect it to them before you could get them to move again. So by being connected the whole time, at any moment during that turn, you could choose to stop it. You could choose to move it in a different direction. You could choose to make it happen anyway. Now, forcefully, that would be, now there's a couple of things with forceful that I would say could be a problem during a turn. Usually a forceful lead is not one that's done the entire way through. It's one that's done it's usually an impulse lead that's the problem, right? Someone that just tries to crank you through really fast, all of a sudden they go like this, and you're not ready for it, right? And for me, that is less about the amount of pressure that is being applied and more about the speed at which the pressure was applied at the initial moment, right? So if you were to build up a lot of pressure right at the very beginning and then crank it through with that pressure, the follow has already built the pressure in their arm and their body, and so they're ready for it. And so even if you were to keep that same pressure going the whole time, most follows wouldn't have any problem with that because they've already built the connection in their whole body, right? Now, the other common thing is when the person starts a lead, they release it and then they do it again. So some leads will actually try to create pressure, they'll release the pressure at some point, and then they'll create pressure again before the follow's ready for it. Often when the follow's arm is in an awkward position back here or something like that, because that's the problem with releasing, is that when you release, the follow's arm will go from this connected position to something like this, or, the follow doesn't have to keep her arm in that frame. So if you try to lead again, when someone's like halfway through the move, then you get that whoa, the follow's arm gets pulled back, or something like that will happen. So for me, it's actually when the lead does it, when the follow's not ready for it, right, and too fast. So that would be another situation. Now, I want to also mention, though, the benefit of if the follow were able to be ready for it, right? She could be led in things halfway through turns, like you could lead something, and as the follow is turning, you would be able to, let's see, I'm going to use the chair so you can see. Let's say I'm spinning the chair, a full turn would be all the way around, right? But as I get halfway through, if she has still connection, I can lead her in a direction halfway through the move, which is really cool to be able to do. It's rare, not too many follows have that, but in most follows, what happens is they get halfway through the turn. If you lead them to go backward, instead of going backward, they actually just let their arm go down, right? But it can be really cool to get that half spin and then move someone backward. So that works better or easier. It's easier to do if you keep the connection the whole time through the entire turn and then lead it. But at the same time, ideally, we could do that by doing like a half, a relax or a impulse lead to start the spin, and then another impulse lead to get the person to go backwards.